What's up, everyone? Welcome. My name is MT Major, and today we're going to talk about what's better, using rockets or using torpedoes. And the difference between these two things is extremely large. For people who don't know what the difference is, for people who are new to this game, it's very simple. You have three types of missile systems, if you will. You have the torpedo pylon, the seeker missile rack, and the normal missile rack. There are also other weapons that you can use in the game that you have to unlock using power play, but we're not going to go over those. We're just purely going to go over the seeker missile rack versus the torpedo pylon. Now, there's been a lot of confusion about these things. A lot of people saying immediately that torpedo pylons are not useful, or people saying that seeker missile racks are a waste of hardpoint space because they are not powerful enough, or stuff like that. Now, I want to get something out of the way real quick. Missile racks, the seeker missile racks are a very powerful weapon. The torpedo pylon is a very powerful weapon. It completely depends on where and how you're using it. Now, I'll obviously go and show both weapons in this video, and also go through the engineering upgrades possible for both of these weapons, and we'll see which one is better in my point of view, and also kind of in rating point of view. But it kind of depends on what your preference is. For example, when I'm running an Anaconda, you have two small hardpoints. I always, for some reason, think it's a good idea to fill those two hardpoints with two torpedo launchers. This can be a good bet, because if you're fighting against, let's say, a Corvette, or if you're fighting against an Anaconda, upgraded torpedo launchers, and especially if you engineered them, they can be extremely effective with taking down hull damage, taking down modules. You can, for example, the Corvette has 20% health, you have 20% health, you shoot your two torpedoes, hoping they'll hit, because they're very slow and they can be taken down easily. But if that doesn't work, like if they do hit, then you basically kill him, depending on how much health he has in the first place. But that's just such a good thing to do. Should I fill them up with seeker missiles? Not really, because two small seeker missiles, even though it can be pretty powerful, it just doesn't add that oomph that you might need in a desperate situation. And two small burst lasers aren't going to add that much to your weapons anyway if you have a large and huge ones. So with that being said, in that case, I think torpedo pylons are pretty good. Torpedo pylons can also be pretty good if you have just one extra spare small hardpoint that you don't know what to do with it. You're like, what do I do with this? You can put a torpedo pylon on there if you think that's a good idea, especially if you upgrade it and it can deal damage directly to the hull. It can be extremely effective against larger targets. However, if you are a real fighting vehicle, there's no such thing as torpedo builds, right? I mean, I can try to look at it, Anaconda torpedo build, putting 8 torpedoes on a ship. It just doesn't exist. First of all, there are no torpedoes for large and huge, so that would be pretty cool though. Torpedoes for huge, that would be pretty fucking awesome. And second of all, there's just no reason to do that, because it's you have two shots, and that's something that is very annoying about a torpedo. You have one shot if you use a small torpedo, you have two shots if you use a medium torpedo. Seeker missiles have like 16 shot per missile launcher, so I think a medium has 32. I have to check that real quick though. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. The seeker missile rack has 12 shots, so it has 6 and then reload 6. As you can see, torpedo pylon has 1, reload 0, and if you have a medium seeker missile racks, it has 6, or it has 12. So the the benefit of a Seeker Missile Rack is obviously the higher DPS value if you use it to a target for a longer extent. Obviously, torpedo does not do enough damage to kind of even come close to that. But again, the torpedo can be a very good way of, you know, fast taking out a target. Now I've gone through the process of putting them both on my ship, not upgraded. A vanilla Seeker Rack and a vanilla torpedo pylon. I'm calling it vanilla, but you know what I mean. These I'll try them out. I'll show you guys the torpedo pylon and the missile rack. On a ship like the Cobra, I would not choose both. Missile racks are fucking cool. Torpedoes are even cooler, I think. But on a Cobra, I would just not do that. You know, it's too small of a ship to even bother with weapons like that. Unless you really want to take down that one big ship, then, you know, using rockets can be a solution. Alright, this is gonna get interesting, guys. There is a Anaconda, wanted Anaconda right here. I'm gonna start open fire on him and run away, so the federal agents will definitely come to help me. The damage I'm dealing on him is pretty high. I know that it's because I have upgraded multi-cannons. Now let's use the weapons we got. We have a missile rack, or torpedo, I'm sorry. So here we shoot a torpedo and we see the damage is huge. Immediately, high damage, and it's just a painful shot. We shoot our rockets and we can see that the damage is much lower. 2 damage, 2%. We did about 20% damage on the torpedo. It's actually quite impressive. We do 3, we do 2. I don't know why this guy is not shooting back, but it doesn't really matter. He's just not doing anything. Well, it's only better. That's only good now, because I want to show you these these weapons anyway. So as you can see, the torpedo pylon is already out of ammo. It dealt an enormous amount of damage. You know, if I had 2, I would have, you know, taken so much health of him. But you know, you lose a hard point essentially, because if you had that hard point filled with lasers, or with especially lasers, you know, you have all the time in the world. So I almost shot all my rockets. They are helping right now, so it's not really an honest show anymore of the rocket damage. But as you can see, the rocket damage isn't that high. It's definitely not higher than the torpedo. So I think it's easy now. That's the cheapest Anaconda I've ever killed. I think it's safe to say that it's logical that Jesus, that's a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that it's logical that the torpedo pylon is gonna do more damage, but I just wanted to show you guys anyways on this little video. Now let's go out of Elite Dangerous and let me show you guys the upgrades possible. So here we are out of Elite Dangerous in this little format, where this is the torpedo pylon that we're gonna talk about. And for people who don't know how engineers work, look them out of videos. I'm not gonna explain it in this video. So basically, these are the modifications and the possible experimental effects that you can get on the torpedo pylon. Now first, let's start with the modification lightweight. Basically, essentially means that it's gonna weigh less and it's gonna be easier for your ship, and it's gonna basically add maneuverability and not be a nuisance to FSD drives. This one sturdy increases the integrity at cost of mass. This is going to weigh more, but it's also going to have more health. So now we're at the possible experimental effects. Mass lock munitions basically means that you are making sure your enemy cannot go into FSD drive for a period of time when you shoot him and hit him with your torpedo. Penetrating payload means that it's gonna pierce through the armor and deal damage to multiple modules at once. Reverberating Cascade, possibly the best one you can get. This one basically disables the shield generator, or deals a lot of damage to the internal shield generator, making it very hard for the opponent to recharge his shield or use shield cell banks, basically destroying his shield. So this is a very good one if you're wanting to take down shields quick. So here we have the rocket, the Seeker rocket rack, a Seeker missile rack, mind you. efficient, basically meaning that it will have more ammo the more you upgrade it, and that's basically it. This is lightweight, just like with the torpedo. It reduces mass, and it increases, or no, it reduces integrity and reduces mass. Rapid fire, basically making it fire faster. Yeah, that's it. So just like with the torpedo pylon, it increases mass while also increasing integrity of the hardpoint. Now everything is becoming a lot more interesting. So drag munitions, basically making the enemy vehicle move slower. This one isn't that special. It's basically making the signal of the enemy target much more potent and much more larger. However, it increases heat on the one who uses it to the enemy. This upgrade is only for dumbfire missiles, so we're gonna ignore this one for now. This one is very simple. Overload munitions converts explosive damage to heat damage. This one is also only for dumbfire missiles, so not for seeker missiles, and that's what this video is all about. This one's a little weird. Thermal Cascade basically means that the moment your rockets or the missiles hit the shields, that's when a lot of heat builds up on the ship that is being hit. And now for my final verdict. Now, you guys might have already guessed it. I think that the Seeker missiles have much more different ways of customizing the missiles. You have a lot of more ways to change and get different results. So from point of view of basically the weapon itself, I think the Seeker missiles are a better choice. However, I think the torpedoes with reverberating Cascade is extremely powerful against shielded targets and should definitely not be misjudged or overthought because it's a torpedo. I would love to see a little bit of a buff in torpedoes in the game personally. I think torpedoes are such a cool thing. They're never being used because it's just a one-shot thing, and I think that that's fine, but the damage or the specialties are just too low. I understand it's hard to balance things like this out, and that the torpedo is probably always going to be a little bit weaker than the rest, but it still can be a very, very, very good weapon. Now, please let me know what you guys think of this. This is my take on it. This is what I think. And yeah, I would love to hear whatever you guys think of the torpedo or the Seeker missiles. What do you guys think is better? Please let me know in the comment section down below, and I really will see you guys in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.